Our hands pressed fingertips gently over our eyelids and recited the moon prayer, a prayer for clarity and vision. I rolled my turquoise velvet prayer mat into a long cheroot, tucked it beneath the settee, and looked at the yellow slice of light between the edges of the curtains my grandmother hadn't quite brought together. The moon. Its shape dictated our calendar. Its sighting decided which day we would wear sparkly clothes and eat sweet Eid pastries. My grandmother was a softly spoken woman with a round belly that she rested her hands on. She said little about the world, rarely commented on the small-town sagas that filled our days. This woman, born in a tiny village in India, living in a factory town in England, this sweet old woman of few words and even fewer opinions, was a conspiracy theorist? We were a family of conspiracy theorists. After Sunday sermons at the mosque 3 streets away, my cousins and I would rush back to our home, form a half moon around a black Sony cassette player, and listen to Michael Jackson songs backwards. "He's saying worship Satan," my older cousin would claim, pressing the clunky stop button. "Listen, Michael Jackson is a devil worshipper." We studied the cover of his Dangerous album, drawing a line between the 3 monkey heads to form a pyramid, pointing to the red pentagram inside the pyramid. The couple, was it Adam and Eve? Trapped inside a glass orb. Signs of the Illuminati, we agreed, nodding our heads. Even more entertaining than Ghostbusters and The Never-Ending Story were the tales of Aleister Crowley, the Knights of the Round Table, and the secrets behind the British royal family. One book we read and reread together told us that the Queen of England was a reptile in human form. A cassette tape we played over and over said Prince Charles was a shapeshifter who feasted on newborn babies. We lapped it up, our eyes wide with fear and wonder. All of our childhoods, we listened to stories about the monarchy and the British Empire. Once upon a time, 1 in 4 humans on the planet was a subject of the British Empire, our parents' stories began. "That's wild," we said. "Sounds made up." On my cousin's blue and yellow bedroom wall was a map of the world in Gore Peters' projection, with every country the British had colonized colored in pink. There was our parents' birthplace, India, pink. The birthplace of our grandparents, Burma, pink. Entire swathes of continents ruled by an island nation small enough to fit into India 18 times, at least according to its size before the British dragged a pencil across a map, sparked a genocide, and carved India into separate, warring nations. Like stories of the Illuminati and shape-shifting monarchs, we reveled in the tales of a tiny island with the audacity to rule the planet. That map and our parents' stories were daily reminders that the absurd was possible. The cassette tape sermon's evidence that the fantastical was more compelling than what the government purported to be the truth. Besides, the official maps we studied in school were made up, the cassette tapes told us. Europeans had fudged the way we looked at the world and our home countries. Geert de Kramer, a 16th century Flemish man, better known as Mercator, had drawn a map that shrank India and Africa and beefed up Europe. It was a conspiracy. But we had our stories. Stories that helped us band together against these travesties to counter the narratives that made us small and them big. There was safety in numbers, and we found unity and relief in our collective beliefs. So, years later, when I was 27, a newly qualified doctor working in East London, I was sympathetic to the pregnant young woman rolling her eyes, crossing her arms, and refusing my prescription. I was working in my local hospital, walking distance from my home, where many of my patients looked like me, young, brown, daughters of immigrants. They too had been raised on conspiracy theories about the government, the Queen, doctors.